Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos al Campo Lealtad del Parque La Loma en Tepic, Nayarit, México, para el partido número 20 de la segunda edición de la Copa Mundial Juvenil de Béisbol 5 de la Confederación Mundial de Béisbol y Softball entre Kenia y España. Y representando al equipo visitante de Kenia, los jugadores titulares son, con el número 18, Peter Okindi Mjambo. Con el número 6, Samuel Odieki Osongo. Oficial de primera base, Caridad Tey de Cuba. Oficial de segunda base, Adela Guadalupe Mesalier de México. Oficial de tercera base, José Rogelio Olivas Martínez de México. Y oficial de mesa, Rubén Baena de México. Damas y caballeros, por favor pónganse de pie si pueden, quítense el sombrero y guarden silencio para el himno de Kenia. De igual manera, les pedimos su respeto y atención para escuchar el himno de España. Agradecemos su atención y su
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Parque La Loma in Tepic, Nayarit, Mexico for day 2 of the Youth WBSC Baseball 5 World Cup, the second edition of the Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. And after some slight delays this morning, allowing the folks here in Tepic to work on the field after a night of heavy rain, we are very pleased to be bringing you this matchup between Kenya and Spain. And this is a really good matchup between two teams that showed that they are here to compete with the best of them. And we know that, we can say that, because both of these teams played the best of them. They both played Cuba yesterday. Cuba has never lost, get this, even a game at a World Cup. They were the Baseball 5 World Cup champions in the first ever Open edition back in Mexico City. They were the first ever Youth Baseball 5 World Cup champions in Turkey a couple of years ago. They repeated as Baseball 5 World Cup champions last year in Hong Kong, China. And so far, they are unbeaten after one day at this Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. However, both Kenya and Spain looked pretty good against the Cuba team yesterday. Spain dropping 2 in a row. Both sets, that is, 4-2 and 10-0. When Kenya played Cuba earlier in the day, it was Cuba winning 13-2 and 12-2. And yeah, those might sound like lopsided scores. However, anytime you're even able to get a couple of runs on a Cuba team in Baseball 5, you're doing all right. And so I think both of these teams had to feel proud of the way that they played Cuba yesterday. And then beyond that, they had to be feeling really good about the way they played their other common opponent, Korea, with both teams winning their matchup against Korea. As a result, both teams are 1-1, and this is a hugely important matchup. There's a very good chance, if not a certainty, that the winner of this one is into the Super Round, which will begin later today. And we'll try to familiarize you with the rules of Baseball 5 as the day goes on, but I'm sure some of you tuning in on our YouTube channel here have already seen Baseball 5 and you've come back to watch some more. Kenya in the white is the visitors. They're batting here, and now Kenya's got a problem. They've got base runners. Oh, I thought that they had 3 runners between second and third. One had already been called out. As we take a look at the replay there, that was the force out at second, but the batter who put the ball in play winds up on second base. So it's second and third now. Big spot here. Valentine, the hitter. And she knocks it on the right side, but cannot win the race to first base. And Spain able to work a good top of the first defensively. They do not allow Kenya to score, so it's 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. And again, if you haven't seen it, it's called Baseball 5 for a number of reasons. There are 5 players in each lineup. We play 5 innings, and those are the fundamentals of Baseball 5, where you have 9 innings and 9 players in each lineup. In traditional baseball, you have 5 and 5 here in Baseball 5, and Spain's leadoff man, that's Daikel Perez, with a pretty hard ball coming out of the box. He's on first to lead off the bottom of the first. Nestor Paredes, the hitter here. And he'll try the bunt type play. And Spain with some quickness on display here in the bottom of the first. They have runners on second and third. And you can tell this Spanish team is full of spirit, as there was just a little coordinated celebration with the player on second base. Another aspect of Baseball 5 that really makes it unique, makes it stand out, is that it's a mixed gender discipline where you have to have at least 2 players from each gender in the lineup at all times. Oh, that ball is caught. Great play by Valentine, charging in from third. And then she, as you see, raises her arms, calls time. Good idea by Martina Gonzalez, but just a better defensive play. So it's still scoreless with 1 out now in the bottom of the first. And the batter is Aaron Garcia. Garcia's going to hit it to the right side. They get the out at first, does Kenya, but the run scores, and it's 1-0 España in the bottom of the first inning. Now it's Elena Ramon with 2 outs, waiting for the ball. You see that baseball 5 ball? It's yellow and black. It bounces. It's made of rubber. It's, in terms of its size, as we get a fair ball down the line that'll score another run, it is somewhere between a tennis ball and a squash ball in terms of the size. It's a little softer than both. It's a ball you can squeeze a little bit more than you can a tennis ball or a squash ball or a racket ball. And we'll see if Spain can keep it up here, but a nice play with the underhand flip to second for a force out. And you know baseball and softball, that's the same principle there. You get the force out at second with the runner on first. So 2 runs for Spain in the first inning. Just to further complete the picture, the rules for you. This is a best of 3 series. We're going to play 2 sets at least, and if each team wins a set, then we'll go on to a third, a tiebreaker. But Kenya's going to have to find a way to get on base. I was right there. Peter Mwambo was retired, and now it's Samuel Onsongo bouncing it before knocking it in play. Comes off the wall, and that is a base hit with 1 out. You don't often see a whole lot more than a single base hit, not a lot of doubles, not a lot of triples, and there are no home runs in the sense that you see them in baseball and softball. That ball is caught, and as such, Spain can go across the diamond to complete the double play to end the top of the second. The reason there's no home runs, the ball has to bounce before it gets to the wall. If you hit it over the wall, it's an out. If you hit it off the wall, it's an out. If you hit the ball in foul territory, that is an out too. There are no foul balls. Every time the batter swings the arm and makes contact with the ball, or even if they don't, something happens, be it a hit or an error or an out. We'll see what happens here. That is an out at first base. Love that call from our first base official. That's Caridad Quiñones from Cuba, who's the first base official today. Francisco Lopez from Venezuela, the home plate official. The ground ball on the right side here will be the second out of the inning. The rest of the umpires, officials, whatever you want to call them, are all from Mexico. That's Adela Mesa on second, Jose Olivas at third, and Ruben Baena, who is at the scorer's table. That's an important job, as the throw to first is not quite in time for the out. So Spain with a 2-out hit and a 2-out base runner with a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Deuces are wild here. Now it's Elena Ramon. Softly hit to short, nice play. And that's the out that'll send us to the third inning. You see how quickly this game moves. Last night, after a magnificent opening ceremony, we saw a contest between Mexico and the team representing Syria from the Iraq refugee camp get played in, I think, about 40 minutes. It might have been the fastest game of the day. And that is one of the big benefits of Baseball 5, the speed at which it can be played. You can play an entire game in that short amount of time. Nice job making the catch up the middle. That was Nestor Paredes with the grab. You saw he kind of had to fight the ball. Cliff Opio, Cliff, as it says on the back of his shirt, retired to start the third. Nice look at that catch. The concentration required is remarkable. Now down to a knee to field it. Nice strong throw. Valentine Mokoya retired. It was Garcia with that nice play off third base. Got to credit Spain for the way they've come out here. This game was originally scheduled to start at 11 o'clock this morning local time. Getting underway a little more than 2 hours behind schedule, and that again was because of heavy rains that visited the area last night, and some really hard work put in by a lot of folks to get this court or this field. Again, it's not a game that gets hung up in the particulars, whatever you want to call it, court or a field. A lot of folks were out there working on it to get it nice and dry ahead of this one. It's really important that it's dry too. You see how much speed these players are able to build up when they're running the bases, and then they have to slam on the brakes, come to a complete stop in a hurry. That's hard to do if the surface is slick. So we do want to thank all of the folks who are working on the field. Here's a throw home and safe at the plate. 3-0 Spain as that throw got past first base. And a pretty good looking start for this Spain national team. I think even if a catch and a tag had been put on there, you saw at the tail end of the replay, because the fielder was on the foul side of the third baseline, the runner would have been safe regardless. There's an opposite plate for the fielder and the base runner to use to avoid collisions. As Cliff drops it, another run's gonna score. There's the tag for the out, but a big smile from Martina Gonzalez as she was able to draw the throw that allowed the runner to come down the third base line, and that's why it's 4-0 Spain here in the bottom of the third inning. They're looking well on their way to capturing a first set victory. On a tough ball there, that one just ate him up at short. Yvonne, who's playing the pitcher's position, directing traffic, trying to move the fielders around. Gets everybody in the right place. And now it's Ramon. Hits it to first. They get the force out there. There's 2 away with a runner on second. Spain scored 2 in the first. They've scored 2 more here in the third so far. You feel like Kenya has to get out of this inning right now, or it could be a real problem in terms of a potential comeback. And they do. Nice play. Sure-handed at second base. Let's go to the top of the fourth inning. We said that both teams lost to Cuba yesterday and both teams beat Korea yesterday. It was a really interesting matchup between Spain and Korea. Spain took the first set 10-0, and then Korea won the second set 9-0. So that forced a third set tiebreaker, and wouldn't you know it, after those 2 very lopsided scores, that third set was a classic, with Spain winning by a 4-3 final score. They don't get any closer than that. So they win 10-0, they lose 9-0 in the second set, and then 4-3 in the third. That just shows you that you can't read too much into one result. So even if Kenya is unable to come back in this first set, that does not mean that this thing's over. There's still a lot of Baseball 5 left to be played. That was a good call right there, by the way, at home plate from Francisco Lopez. The out call was made because the batter had started to run. They'd left the box before the ball had gone down on the court. Players cannot get a running start. And that was well done by Cliff. You saw the difference. He stayed in the box as he hit it. You really just can't start running until that ball gets in play. Now 2 on with just 1 out. This could be Kenya's inning to come back. They only have 5 outs to play with the rest of the top of the fourth and then the 5th inning. Valentine tagged out on her way to first. And this is probably the biggest at-bat of the game for Kenya. And you can see why. Runners on second and third. Peter, the batter. Oh, he bounced that one foul, and so he is out. Did not get it on the right side of the line. I think it was also short of the 3-meter no-hit zone line. That's the triangle in front of the plate. So a missed opportunity there for Kenya at a time where they really needed to put one in play. Unable to do so. Really like that high camera angle that you're getting a look at now. 6 cameras here. Megakable doing a great job covering this Baseball 5 World Cup. It's their first time ever covering a Baseball 5 event, and they have picked it up and providing these angles, these replays that give you at home such a good look at how hard it is to play this game. I mean, these players make it look easy. It's not easy. And if you've had a chance to try it out, you know exactly what we're talking about. That ball is hard to squeeze as a defensive player, and it's hard to generate power as a batter. One out. That was another example where the batter got themselves out. Ball failed to clear the line. This is going towards second. Nice play to get the force out at second base. 2 gone. There's another field immediately beside us. Mexico and Tunisia about to play over on that one, field 2. Should be a good test for Mexico coming off their big win over Syria last night. And more good defense from Kenya here to keep Spain off the scoreboard in the 4th. But here we are in the top of the 5th inning. Kenya needs to score at least 4 runs. If they score 4, it'll be tied going to the bottom of the 5th. If they score 5, then Spain would be up against it. They would have to score in the bottom half of inning number 5. This is where it gets really exciting, the 5th inning. Think of it like the 9th in baseball. And a hard hit ball with a lot of spin. Onsongo safe at first. And that brings up Yvonne. Great pickup at third, and then the one-handed catch with the stretch at second. That was awesome defense. Love that play. You always want to get the lead runner, but right now Spain doesn't have to. They can just get the easiest out. It just so happens in this case the easiest out was at second, but there was nothing easy about that. I'm telling you, squeezing a baseball 5 ball with a bare hand. Cliff is out. He left the box early. And now Spain 1 out away from winning the opening set and doing it with a shutout too. There's Valentine. She seems to always be up in the big spots. A high pop fly, that's over the wall. Again, that's not a home run. It is an out in baseball 5, and it just so happens that in this case, it is the last out of the set. Spain takes the opener 4-0. We will see if Kenya can bounce back and win set 2 after this short break. Well, after Spain took the first set 4-0, we will begin the second set with Kenya needing to win to force a third, to force a tiebreaker. Craig Durham, happy to have you along on this Thursday afternoon in Tepic, Nayarit. It was supposed to be a game that started this morning, but because of the rain last night, we're playing this afternoon. Thanks for adjusting your plans to be here with us. And right now, if you're interested in the host nation, Mexico, they're about to get started. Tony Alvarez will have the coverage of that one on field 2. You may have noticed that there are a lot of ways that you can watch this tournament. You can either park it on the field 1 all-day stream, the field 2 all-day stream if you'd like, or you can kind of do it a la carte and just follow the link to the specific matchup that you're hoping to watch. And that's on YouTube. There will also be select games broadcast on Facebook, on the WBSC Facebook page. We encourage you to participate on social media at WBSC and all of the Baseball5 and WBSC social channels. Kenya already off to a good start here in the second set. They have runners on second and third with just one out. And after being shut out in set 1, this would be a great time to break through and score. They need to send somebody up to bat. I think just confirming that they had the lineup right. It's Cliff's turn. Cliff Opio. On the ground, bobbled. And that allows the run to score, and everybody will be safe. So a really solid start for Kenya. They take a first inning lead here, 1-0 the score. Aida Olaru, the batter. She hits it on the ground, right side. Smart play, pushing it to get it to first for the out, but a run scores again, and then aggressive base running leaves Kenya with a runner on third and 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Kenya's going to keep counting. It's 3-0 now. Excellent placement on that hard hit ball. Samuel Onsongo, one of the leaders of this Kenya team, just keeps the line moving. This is a huge first inning, and I told you, just because Spain won that first set did not mean anything in terms of this game being over. Just look at what happened yesterday with Spain. They won the first set 10-0. They lost the second set 9-0. Are we in for a repeat type performance? Here's the throw. No, they're not going to throw home. They're going to throw to second. 2-run score. It's 5-0 Kenya. So Kenya's already outscored what Spain did through the entire 5 innings of set 1. That was a beautiful ball, hopping over the first base side of the line fair. And it's just like baseball and softball. If the ball bounces in front of the base and then goes over the top of it, it's fair. Oh, safe. And safe at home. Spain simply cannot get out of this first inning. Cannot find that third out. I'm really not all that surprised to see this from Kenya. They're such a solid team. When they played Korea yesterday, they won in straight sets, 7-2 and 8-1. So in a way, they had an easier time of it than Spain did. This should do it. And there's the catch at first that ends the inning. But boy, does Spain have some work to do. going to the bottom of the first inning. 6-0 Kenya, the score. That was a hard smash. Valentine able to get the left hand on it, but unable to squeeze it. Wonder if we'll get a big answer here. That's not going to help. The ball fails to clear the no-hit zone, so 1 out and still a runner on first. Whenever the ball is either foul or over the fence or in the no-hit zone, the runner has to go back to where they started. Underhand to second, force out there. A lot of the fans that were here for the beginning of this one have moved over to Field 2 to watch Mexico play. And Valentine just couldn't come up with it clean. And no reason to try and force something there. Sofia Rodilla coming up for Spain now. Her first at bat of the day. She didn't play in set 1. And she grounds it to short and is out at first. Good defense from Kenya. With a 6-0 lead, they will look to add on moving into the second. The level of play at this tournament, I'm not going to say it has exceeded my expectations or everybody's expectations, but you can see how this discipline is growing and how the quality of play just keeps getting better and better. This game was only born 8 years ago. It was November of 2017 in Havana, Cuba, when for the first time the WBSC hosted a World Cup event that featured multiple teams. It wasn't an international competition. All the teams were from Cuba. But it was kind of a proof of concept event. The first World Cup came 5 years later in 2022 in Mexico City. With the incredible court built in front of El Zocalo courts, there were 2 of them. Built in El Zocalo, I should say. And then on to Turkey for the first Baseball5 Youth World Cup. Last year in Hong Kong, China. And now back to Mexico here in the state of Nayarit. Line drive pass first. Ball never got over to first base, so a good job there from Kenya finding the spot. And I think in that instance, Rodilla thought, I'm going to let this ball go by because it might hit the wall on the fly. You have to make that decision very quickly. And in that case, the ball just did not have quite enough to get to the fence, to get to the wall. And Kenya's just bringing the offense here in set 2. After hanging 6 on the board in the first inning, they have the bases loaded. Or do they? Sorry, that one did hit the wall on the fly. So with 2 outs and 2 on, chance for Ida. Ball slips through the grasp of Rodilla. 7-0 Kenya. Yvonne Kaiga, the batter. That's going to bring home another one. 8-0. Where it all came to Spain so easily in the first set, it's not working here in the second. I mean, I'm not going to say that we're guaranteed to go to a third set tiebreak, but it sure looks like we're headed that way. But a nice play up the middle to limit Kenya to 2 in the second. 8-0 our score. We'll be back in just a moment. Oh, a mistake there for Kenya. That ball was going to hit the wall on the fly. That's one where you want to get out of the way. Instead, the attempt to catch it, which is a natural instinct, the attempt to catch it was there. But when you don't squeeze it tight, that can be a big mistake. Out at first, throw across, not quite in time. Good throw, but just too much speed. That was a very strong, very accurate throw across the diamond, as you saw in the replay there. And now the big boy, Garcia, brings in a run, and we won't have a shutout for the second straight set. It is 8-1. Caught, throw to first, double play. What instincts, what accuracy on that throw. And what an effort from Kenya through the first 2 innings of the second set. A commanding 8-1 lead. And they'll be back up with Valentine leading off. Valentine Makoya. Born in 2008. Players in this tournament born between 2007 and 2011. That's the eligibility requirements to participate in this Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. And we're going to get a defensive substitution for Spain. Garcia heads out. Daikel Perez is going to play third base and take Garcia's spot in the batting order. Change has been properly accounted. And the ball put in play. A leadoff base runner. Kenya trying to build a 10-run lead here in the third. Those are numbers to keep an eye on, 10 and 15. If a team leads by 15 or more after 3, then the set ends after 3. If a team leads by 10 or more after 4, that's how you can win in just 4 innings in a Baseball 5 game. We had a pretty unusual circumstance yesterday in which a team in Lithuania won back-to-back sets, but neither set was 5 innings. The first one went 6, it went to extras, and the second one went 4 because of a big lead. We were trying to consult the history books to see if there had ever been a Baseball 5 game that didn't feature a 5-inning set. It's kind of the whole point of the game, right? It's in the name. the slightest of delays before we get this top of the fourth started. Again, that I think just had to do with inputting the substitutions into the system at the scorer's table. And now a throw from the shortstop position sails high. And the leadoff runner winds up on second. There was the bobble and the high throw. Had him ducking on Kenya's bench. We also see those big smiles. Kenya in command in set 2, trying to force a third set. They're up by 7. They score 3 here in the top of the fourth inning. Spain will have to score in the bottom of the fourth, but I wouldn't count on it. Ever since that really rough first inning of this second set, Spain has played much better. On Songo, the batter. First and third. The officials have not yet called timeout. And maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe we will see a few from Kenya here. They're on the move after the leadoff out. And now they have that 11th run, the one that would give them a 10-run lead on first. More broad smiles, hugs, cheering, celebration in the Kenya dugout. Safe. That was nearly a tie at second base, but the runner gets the call. And yeah, here we are, 10-1. Just the one out. And still just the one out. Crawling on his belly, Fabian Porto tried to swat the ball over to third base, which is one of my favorite plays in Baseball 5 when it works. It's awesome. It's only done when a player knows they don't have time to pick it up and throw it. Sometimes it's the smartest play, the best tactic, just to whack it over there. And that's a fair ball on the line. 11-1 Kenya with the bases loaded. And still just the one out in the top of the fourth. Even if Kenya doesn't add on here, which they likely will, Spain will have to score in the bottom of the inning. Otherwise, the set will be over because of the 10-run rule. Oh, but they're going to keep counting, will Kenya. 12-1. Bases still loaded. Another fair ball. Or was it? I think the runners are going to be sent back. The initial bounce was foul. So even though it wound up on the other side of the line, that's an out. Second of the inning. Bases still loaded. This is a big one here. It could determine whether or not we go the distance and play 5 innings in this set or not. Not much to it on that effort from Yvonne. And so Spain, down by 11, comes up in the bottom of the fourth, needing 2 runs to send us to the 5th. Otherwise, we will go to set 3. Going to the bench, Alphonse Mboya makes an appearance for Kenya, who will play second. Nerea Castile for Spain. Good ball to start the inning. That brings up Rodilla. And this is not the way we've been seeing Kenya play defense so far in this set. They're going to have to tighten it up if they want to win it in 4. That's a ball Valentine usually gobbles up. Daikel Perez working it around. And he's out. That ball was wide of the foul line. No foul balls in Baseball 5. Every play is an action play. That's what keeps it so fast-paced and exciting. Two outs. Kind of a big spot. This could go one of two ways. A hit here could potentially score 2 runs, and that would make it 12-3. We'd go to the 5th, or an out ends it, and we go to a 3rd set. All hinges on this ball from Fabian Porto. Ball pops up, and only 1 run scores. Kenya will have one more opportunity to get an out and win it in 4. Nerea Castile, who started the inning. Hits it to short, throw to first, out! And Kenya will win the 2nd set, 12-2 in 4. After Spain took the opening set 4-0. So we will hit the reset button and all meet back here in just a couple of minutes for set number 3. What a game we've got between Kenya and Spain, the winner advancing to the Super Round. Well, that took a little bit more time than usual between sets, but there is a lot on the line. Everybody wanted to make sure that everything's done just right, because the winner of this set, I believe, will advance to the super round along with Cuba out of this group. So this is massive. Both teams went 1-1 yesterday. They both lost to Cuba. They both beat Korea. So one will finish 2-1, the other 1-2 in the group stage. And after Spain won set 1 4-0, Kenya came back and dominated the second set 12-2 and have gotten off to a fast start again here in set number 3. They have 2 aboard with none out. And Valentine Mukoya coming up. Really interesting how Spain in both of its matches against the non-Cuban teams had big first set and in fact shutout victories in the first set before really struggling in the second set. But that's what's been the story, and that's not the story that Spain is hoping to go home telling. That's a tough play right there. You really got to squeeze that ball. Nestor Paredes was in position. The ball was not hit hard, but unable to squeeze it. However, an unforced error on the other side as Peter Mwambo just bounced it well short of the line for the first out of the third set. And now Kenya needs a batter. Yvonne Kaiga, 5th in the lineup. Trying to bring home the first run. It's a race. Safe. Winning the race on Songo by a step. There was a force at home plate. There did not need to be a tag. It was good speed from Paredes, but you be the judge. And clearly on Songo got there a step before Paredes. It's 1-0 Kenya, but Spain wants to have a word with Andrea Dauria, the tournament director, perhaps contending that Kenya batted out of turn. And this is again why we took a little extra time between sets, make sure everybody inputted their batting orders properly. Oh, that's close, but again, I think that's the right call. You see that the runner is supposed to step in the triangle and the fielder is supposed to step on the white home plate. How about these replays? Safe right before the toe gets down. Awesome work by our Mega Complet team. The heel beat the toe in that case. And how about the official making the correct call there, Francisco Lopez making the call. It is 1-0 Kenya, but Spain is still not convinced that Kenya's batting in the correct order. That's my guess as to what they're talking about over on the Spain side, but that issue has now been resolved on Songo to bat. Bases loaded for Kenya with 1 out in the first. They're trying to make it a big first inning, just like they did in set 2. Out the call at second. Run comes in, 2-0. Kenya scored 6 runs in the first inning of the second set. Watch how close every play I feel like is going to be in this set. There's the run scoring, and there was a force out at second. Cliff Opio. Really good placement there. 3-0 Kenya. We have the French national team watching on, the Lithuanian national team watching, doing some scouting. I believe France has qualified for the super round. They beat Puerto Rico in straight sets earlier this morning. Lithuania was 1-1 yesterday. They're about to take on Syria following the conclusion of this one on this field. Lithuania has to be the favorite there. And if they win, they too will advance to the super round. But look at Kenya, they just keep it coming. Nice play off the wall for the force out at second. 4 runs on the board. And that's the number that Spain's gonna have to chase in this third set. They'll have to come from behind again. Meanwhile, over on field 2, Mexico beat Tunisia in the first set, and they're up 9-0 in the second set. They're part of the French national team, along with some local fans. A very central location, Parque La Loma. The gates are open, free admission. And have people been coming and staying a while. It's not like people are dropping in for 5 or 10 minutes. They're getting comfortable. Ground ball here after a nice catch was made on the initial at bat of the home half of the first. Now a base runner. And now Martina Gonzalez. You even see the players posing for selfies with some of the local fans. Oh, a drop at second base. Onsongo was in position. He had the stretch. He's looking at his hands the way a baseball player might look at their glove after dropping one they would usually catch. A break for Spain. Will that open the door? Aaron Garcia. Nice play to get the lead runner. This is a well-disciplined Kenya team. I think they're a team that looks deserving of a spot in the super round. But a long way to go in this one. Valentine knocks it down. They get the lead runner again by force out. And that will end the first inning, 4-0 Kenya. It's going to be tough for Spain to come back, and you can see that their spirits not as high as they were in the first set. Perhaps feeling a little bit of the pressure. Yvonne, the batter. Bounces it short of the line, well short of the line. That one actually, I think, hit on home plate. So now on Songo. Did it touch one of the Spain players? It did. And so the runner is safe. Yeah, you can see Garcia couldn't get out of the way. And that's the universal signal for there was a touch. It's like in volleyball at the net. Thought we might see Onsongo try to go first to third, but content to go station to station. Gotta love a sport that has a DJ as part of the field setup. It's a lively atmosphere at every Baseball5 tournament, as they're the runners out because they were hit by the batted ball. And Onsongo is going to have to go all the way back to second. Watch this. That is a rule right out of the baseball rule book, adapted for Baseball5. So many similarities, but obviously so many differences. The compact size of the field, the DJ, and a run here for Kenya to make it 5-zip. Doing well after the very slow start when they did not score in the opening set. it sometimes takes a little while to get going. Happened in a number of instances yesterday where a team didn't look good in the opening set and then came back and won the game. And might we be headed along that line again? Big third out from Spain, 5-0 though, as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. And again, stick around if you're on the all-day Field 1 coverage. It'll be Lithuania and Syria after the conclusion of this one, and it'll only be about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Because of the delay this morning, all of the games are going to be packed together and just go one after another. So you will want to watch that one. That's a fair ball. Love the thinking from Kenya. They thought that was going to go foul, but the ball just held true to that line, would not cross it. And again, that comes right out of baseball and softball. You'll see a third baseman standing over a ball, waiting, hoping, maybe even praying for it to go foul. It wouldn't do it. And now a softly hit ball. Paredes following the example before him, set by Perez. And hey, that's working right now for Spain. I wonder if we'll see the same from Gonzalez. Bases loaded, trying a different tactic that time, hitting it harder on the right side. Looked like Cliff was a little concerned with the runner there. But he makes the catch on a line, stomps on the first base bag for a double play. After Spain trying all the soft stuff with good results, Garcia tried to smash it. And you see the result from bases loaded, no outs now, 2 away. And Valentine knocks it down, unable to make it. Run scores. It's 5-1. What's the delay here? Looks like it could be related to the tablet, to the software. Or hardware, I'm not sure. It's like one of those age-old questions. The difference between dusk and twilight. What is the difference between hardware and software? I don't know. It's a tough time, though, for the game to go into this short break. A very important third set with the fans watching. That's the Lithuania national team. The France national team. 2 of the top programs in Europe. The European Championship, not in the youth age level, but the Open All Ages European Championship is set to take place the first week of November. I know there's a number of players and participants here, officials as well, that will be in Lithuania for the European Championship, as Kenya, after the delay and after we get back underway, makes a nice defensive play to move the game to the third. A 5-1 lead. Kenya 3 innings away from advancing to the Super Round. The schedule of the Super Round will be made official after we've completed the entire group stage. Onsongo with the grounder on the left side. Only a handful of games left to be played in the opening round, the group round. Mexico really taking it to Tunisia 11-2. They're in the top of the 4th over on field 2. Then, like we said, Lithuania and Syria coming next on field 1. Turkey and Venezuela on field 2. That should be a really good game. And then Cuba and Korea. That'll be the final game of the group stage. That'll get underway on this field as soon as Lithuania and Syria wrap up. After that Cuba-Korea game ends, the tournament officials will put together both the placement round and super round schedules. We will have completed 24 games, and there will be 32 to go. Kenya having a time here. They score another. Spain, they are feeling the pressure. So what happened there, you can understand Spain's frustration. The Kenya batter hit it short of the line. The batter knew it, and they started to walk to the dugout, but the home plate official did not call them out. The home plate official just missed that call, and they're human, it happens. So by not calling that a dead ball, Spain had to go tag the batter as the batter was going to the dugout, knowing that they had made a mistake and should have been out, and then the runner came down the third base line and scored. So you can understand why Spain was frustrated there. It should have been a dead ball, batter is out, and that runner would not have been able to score from third. Now the officials are getting together to talk about it. They may reverse the call. They can do that. And in this case, you saw the replay, they probably should. And I think the most telling part of the replay is that the batter knew it. The batter knew they were out and started walking to the dugout. You saw the bounce short of the line. But you see the home plate official did not signal out. And, you know, that's kind of what do you do in this situation? I think the right call is going to be made here. It's an important call. Maybe we can look at it one more time. I'm not sure if we can, but that was very clear on the replay. The ball was short of the line. I think now the officials need to figure out where all of the runners need to go, and they're going to be put back in place. And good job by the officials just getting it right. So that run ultimately does not score. There are 2 outs, and good job by everybody working together to get the right result. And now we get back underway. Yvonne will be the batter, but still they talk about it at the table. We had a lot of flow. We had good momentum in the first 2 sets. This third set, with so much on the line, maybe understandably, has slowed down a little bit. And now everybody's on the same page. And we will get back underway. Good job, again, by everybody. First, the Spanish team and coaching staff for not, going bananas and getting all upset about things. They fairly calmly explained their case that the ball clearly was short, the batter was out. And we took it from there. Now that run is going to score, so it came off the board. It's going back on the board now. 6-1 Kenya with runners on first and second. And 1 out. Yvonne with a well-placed ball. Now it's on Songo. Oh, a tricky play. Bases loaded again for Kenya. Those are the types of plays Spain has to make. Everybody being awarded another base here. I'm not sure I can tell you why yet. A lot of confusion here. Just like we thought, though, it's going to be bases loaded for Kenya. Trying to build on a 6-1 lead. Here's Cliff, he hits it hard, but a nice play at second for the force out that ends the inning. So the task getting harder and harder for Spain, the home team, in this third set. 6-1 our score. This has been quite the battle. Spain won the first set 4-0. Kenya the second, 12-2. Kenya just keeps playing hard, and everybody's playing hard. I shouldn't just single out Kenya. Nestor Paredes almost just flipped over the wall. He was running so hard to first base. The fans in the front row, whoop, just beyond the screen, there he is. Saying hello to the fans in the front row. Nice one-hand pick by Valentine. The throw, though, off the mark. A base running blunder, and Spain can't afford any of those. The bounce to first, and Kenya able to make quick work of Spain in the bottom of the third. You feel like the Spanish team's chances of advancing to the super round are slipping away as Kenya comes up in the fourth inning already with a 5-run lead. That was an awesome play by Valentine. There's the throw to first, which pulled the first baseman off the bag, and I'm just not sure what Martina Gonzalez was thinking, continuing to run after rounding first base. Maybe a little bit of a mental lapse. Spain taking a timeout ahead of the fourth. Everybody trying to get ready. And we begin. I think that's a really good time to take the timeout. Usually you see it in the middle of an inning, but right there you see it before the inning starts. Should be the top of the 4th. Scoreboard says bottom 3. Ground ball there and another nice pickup. Throw over. But because that throw went and because Peter was hustling, another run comes in. And Kenya continues to pull away. That was a great pickup by Garcia, but then not quite enough on the throw. And when the throw skipped away from Elena Ramon, there we go, says top 4 now. Now Kenya trying to get into a rundown. Now the throw coming home. Good defense by Spain. And a double play. Wow, you understand what Kenya was trying to do there. But that backfired in a big way. They run themselves right out of the top of the 4th. And that might let Spain hang around. Look at this play. There was a runner on 3rd and a runner on 1st. The throw goes to 1st. That's when the runner breaks for home. Breaks maybe an overstatement. And then just more bad base running, a double play. So can Spain use that to their advantage? 6 outs left to play with. That ball did not clear the no-hit zone, so there's the first out. That's just not something Spain's going to be able to overcome. No unforced errors at this point. Softly hit, hard throw to second. Too hot to handle there. Monsongo did well not to let the ball get away. I mean, that thing came in very fast. Two days in a row now on field 1. The first game has been really close. Going the distance, going 3 sets. Lasting a good long while. Good base running there. Good read by Paredes. Sensing that that would be caught, he did not take his foot off the base. And as a result, could not be doubled off. Here it is, the moment for Spain. Bases loaded. They need to string together a few hits. There's going to not be one of them. Oh my, what reflexes. Taking the deflection and stepping on first base for the force out. That looked like it might have scored 2 instead. Watch this. From Cliff, picking it up. Getting a little bit of luck of the bounce there. And we'll go to the 5th and final inning of the 3rd and final set for each of these two teams in the opening round. Kenya with a 6-run lead. They'll look to add some insurance. And they start with a ground out. And another as it's punched softly to second. 2 gone. Certainly not necessary for Kenya to score, but you'd like to add 1 or 2. Just give you that positive feeling going into the last of the 5th. As it stands right now, Spain will need to score at least 6 to reach the super round, and that is the number after a solid defensive inning. 1, 2, 3 goes Kenya. And it all comes down to this in the group stage. One of these teams going to the super round, one going to the placement round. And unless Kenya really runs into an unforeseen force in Spain, it's going to be Kenya advancing to the super round. Spain has not scored 6 runs all day. Well, more than 6, I should say. 4 in the first, and then 2, and they ground into an opening out. I just don't see it. The offensive firepower has not been there for the Spain national team. Kenya 2 outs away. Make it 1 out. They are ready to celebrate. That was a sensational throw and a good catch too. First base, the most important position if you ask me. Martina Gonzalez trying to extend the game, trying to keep Spain's hopes of the super round alive. But Valentine to first, and Kenya wins it in 3 sets. They drop the first 4-0. They win the second 12-2, and they win the third 7-1 to finish the group stage with a 2-win, 1-loss record. That'll be enough to go to the super round along with Cuba. Spain 1-2. They will join Korea in the placement round out of this group. And that's the story in our first match from Field 1 on this Thursday afternoon in Tepic. A big one next. Lithuania will look for win number 2 against Syria. The stream will continue. There will be no commentary of that one. And then I'll be back for Cuba and Korea in just over an hour. Whenever the Lithuania-Syria game ends, that's when we'll be back for Korea and Cuba. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was a good one. And congratulations again to Kenya for coming from behind to win it. Until the next one, so long. Thanks for being with us for the WBSC Youth Baseball 5 World Cup.